Hi there. My name is Mitch Graham, and today I'm going to talk to you about STEM education and why we should increase funding for it. You see, a study from Dr. Stephen L. Miller shows that just a 10 to 20% increase in student science scores can translate into trillions of dollars in long-term economic growth and income potential. Let me say that again. Trillions of dollars. Not millions, not billions. Trillions of dollars. So this quality science education leads to massive income gains later in life, especially for girls and minorities. So the data is clear. Science education pays off in more ways than one. According to Dr. Miller, even these modest improvements in science achievement, just 10 to 20%, produce these trillions of dollars in economic growth. Data from the Office for Economic Cooperation and Development, or OECD, links these learning gains to national prosperity. Countries with higher science scores tend to have stronger, more stable, and more diverse economies. But it's not all good news. Because Dr. Miller also found a steep decline in STEM interest, especially among girls and minorities between 8th and 10th grade. Many students lose confidence in themselves and their abilities, and they don't have access to hands-on, high-quality, engaging, and informative STEM experiences. By the time of high school graduation, women and minority students make up less than half of advanced science class enrollment. And these kids aren't just losing interest, they're losing opportunities for high-income, meaningful work in adulthood. But this trend is reversible. See, by increasing funding for STEM education, we broaden participation in science fields. Better funding means better teacher training, better lab equipment, better curriculum, better experiences, and a better outcome for our students, our future. Dr. Miller's 2025 study shows that specifically computer-based STEM programs boost test scores. Schools that invested in modern STEM curricula saw higher scores, renewed enthusiasm, and a closing of the interest gap. And here in New Mexico, STEM is particularly important thanks to all of our national laboratories and other technological organizations. Programs like NASH's STEM Initiative and the National Girls Collaboration Project prove that this targeted, specific funding for STEM education works. So science education drives massive income, economic, and innovation gains. But we will lose future scientists if we continue to ignore these early declines in STEM interest. That is why I am asking you to support increased funding for STEM education. Because if just this small 10 to 20% boost can yield trillions of dollars in future prosperity, imagine what a full, dedicated investment can do for our students, our teachers, our country, our economy, and our future. Thank you very much. My name is Mitch Graham.